Goblinettes, welcome back. You are in the kitchen with Goblin. Now I realize it has been a while since I've done one of these types of videos, and if you have been watching my Destined to be Goblin videos, you will know that recently I have done a plethora of chicken sandwiches. And so HelloFresh came out with their menu this week, and believe it or not, guess what? They've got one too. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to experience yet another type of chicken sandwich. This is the Popeye's knockoff. This is HelloFresh's version of that sandwich that has taken the country by storm. The one with the mayo and the pickles and the soft roll. So we do have a double breaded chicken breast on this sandwich. We've got pickles and we've got a secret sauce. We've also got a side dish of crispy potatoes that comes with it. All of our ingredients are in here. I'm going to go ahead and sort through all of the ingredients, wash and dry my fresh produce, and then we will get started. I will tell you that I'm going to make one little change to this recipe. The way that the recipe is laid out, you roast the potatoes in your oven. I'm actually going to go ahead and use an air fryer. We do have an air fryer. We like to have our fries, our potatoes cooked in that air fryer. So that's the only change that I'm going to make. I'm going to prepare everything exactly like it says. I'm even going to prepare those potatoes exactly as I would if I were putting them in the oven. I'm just going to put them in an air fryer instead. So I'm going to go ahead and get all the produce ready, check all of the ingredients, and then I will be ready to go in just a second. All right, checked all the ingredients. Everything is accounted for, of course. And I washed and dried the potatoes, and we're ready to get started. For this ingredient, the recipe calls for 12 ounces of Yukon Gold potatoes. As you can see, they sent us red potatoes. Not a problem whatsoever. Sometimes that will happen if there are certain, in your area, if there's a different type of supply and demand, you may see a different type of produce come in. You might have red potatoes in substitute for yellow potatoes, white potatoes, whatever. So sometimes that will happen. This also calls for 1 dill pickle, and I find it interesting that they're actually using the O-Snap pickling company. If you've ever seen these before, you can find these in grocery stores. These are really good, so I'm excited about the fact that we're going to be using the O-Snap pickles on these sandwiches. 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, so that is right there. We've got that there. 1 teaspoon of hot sauce, there it is. 4 tablespoons of sour cream, that's in these little containers right there. Half a cup of flour, flour is accounted for. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, that's in that little pouch. 2 tablespoons of a Cajun spice blend, that's those right there. And then 10 ounces of chicken cutlets, so I have that defrosted. And then 2 brioche buns, and those are accounted for right there. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut our potatoes into 1/2-inch thick wedges, and then we will prep them a little bit more after that. All right, we would normally toss these potatoes on a baking sheet with a large drizzle of oil, salt, and pepper. Obviously, since I'm going to be using an air fryer, I'm not going to need a baking sheet, so I'm going to do that in a bowl instead. I'm just going to place those potatoes in a bowl, toss them with a large drizzle of olive oil and some salt and pepper. And again, I'm going to be using an air fryer for the potatoes, so because of that, I'm not going to need a lot of oil here, just a little bit of a drizzle, and just kind of toss that around. You can either put the oil directly on the potatoes if you want to use an air fryer, or you can put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the air fryer. That works as well. The most important thing that I have found with the air fryer is to make sure that about every 5 minutes or so while the potatoes are cooking, you give them a nice stir. And that way that increases all of that surface area, and you ensure that all of those potatoes get as much time as possible exposed to that hot air. Okay, now we're going to take our pickle and we are going to thinly slice it crosswise into rounds. Again, if you've never had these O-Snap pickles, they're really designed to be taken on the go. As you can see, pickle in a pouch, no juice. So you can take one of these with you to work, for your lunch, whatever, and they're not messy at all, and they are really tasty. We're gonna thinly slice this pickle crosswise into rounds. Okay, and then we're gonna take a few slices and we're going to mince them until we have about 1 teaspoon. All right, probably a lot more there than I actually need, but that's fine. Okay, so we're going to make our secret sauce here. We're going to take our mayonnaise, put that in a bowl. We're going to add our minced pickle. We're going to add our hot sauce. We're not going to make this too spicy, so I'm not going to use all of this. Just going to put a little bit in there, about half of that. And then we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. Right now it looks very reminiscent of the Big Mac sauce that you'll see at McDonald's. Alright, now we're going to start getting ready our coatings for our chicken. So in a bowl we're going to put our sour cream, 2 tablespoons of water, and we're going to season that with salt and pepper. And now we're going to combine our flour along with our cornstarch, half of the Cajun spice. And again, we've got 2 of those, so we'll just use 1 whole package here. And then we'll add some salt and pepper. Lots of salt for this one. Okay, now we're going to dry off our chicken cutlets with some paper towels, get them nice and dry. And then we're going to take some plastic wrap. And we'll place those on that plastic wrap. Cover it with another sheet. And then we'll use a meat mallet to pound them until they're about 1/3 of an inch thick. Now, if you don't have a meat mallet, you can always use a heavy pan or really anything heavy to just kind of pound them gently until they're about 1/3 of an inch thick. And now we're going to season them all over with the rest of the Cajun spice and salt and pepper. Okay, now we are going to double bread our chicken. So we're going to try to keep one hand clean here, so whenever you're working with a wet ingredient and a dry ingredient like that, it helps if you can kind of keep one hand clean. So we're going to dip our chicken breast in our sour cream mixture. And we're going to let anything drip off that's extra there. I'm going to press that into our flour mixture. And then we're going to put it back in the sour cream, dip it again. And then back into our flour. And then we'll put that on a plate. Same thing with the second piece. All right, now we're going to heat about 1/3 of an inch of oil, a layer of oil. A lot of oil in there for frying. And we're going to heat that until it's hot enough that just a pinch of that flour mixture kind of sizzles as soon as it hits that oil. Yeah, looks like the oil's ready to go. We're going to put our chicken in, and we're going to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes per side until golden brown. I'm going to go ahead and flip these. And then once our chicken is cooked, we're going to move them to a paper towel lined plate and immediately season with salt. All right, we'll start assembling. Slice our buns in half. Now the recipe actually calls for toasting the buns. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave these buns nice and soft. Okay, then we will spread some of that secret sauce on the bottoms of the buns. And since these breasts are kind of big, I'm going to go ahead and put the pickles on the bottom. Now, most of the chicken sandwiches, of course, that we've run across, we have come across 3 pickles per sandwich. I'm going to be a little bit more generous here. To me, a lot of times the pickle is the best part of the sandwich. And I'm also going to put some of those extra pieces just kind of on the side. And then we'll put those breasts right on the top. And then, of course, we will rescue our potatoes from our air fryer. Okay, here they are. Crispy Cajun chicken sandwiches from HelloFresh. Now, the recipe actually recommends using ketchup as a dipping sauce for your potatoes. I, of course, have my Joey Chestnut Coney sauce, so I'm going to go ahead and use some of that on my potatoes. But I am going to go ahead and take a bite of this sandwich. There's a look at that sandwich. Nice big chicken breast on there. Got all those pickles and that secret sauce. Let's see how HelloFresh compares to some of the other chicken sandwiches that we have come across. Oh. That is fantastic. That is just as good as any of the other sandwiches that I have come across. If you want to try to duplicate the Popeye's chicken sandwich right in your own kitchen, go to HelloFresh, look them up. You can get the crispy Cajun chicken sandwich recipe from them when they offer it. They do have a rotating menu every week. So be looking for this. These are really good. I'm going to keep eating this, and I will catch you next time.